Look closely over the water, and you'll find a murky chapter of American history that started on this beautiful island.
All Japanese persons, both alien and non-alien, will be evacuated from this area.
This memorial on Bainbridge Island is dedicated to the Japanese American residents who were exiled from the community, forced into internment camps.
And they didn't dare say citizens because they knew at the time that what they were doing was wrong.
Lily Kitamoto Kodama was 7 years old in 1941, the year Japanese forces bombed Pearl Harbor. In the following weeks, President Franklin Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066, authorizing the forcible removal and imprisonment of more than 120,000 Japanese Americans and immigrants.
We were the first to be taken away.
Deemed enemy aliens, Lily and her family were among roughly 300 Bainbridge Island residents that would be imprisoned for the duration of the war.
I saw all my aunties and my cousins, and I saw real soldiers with guns.
That may have been 80 years ago, but many Asian Americans still often feel like outsiders, unfairly blamed and punished for the events of the day. They've been persecuted for the pandemic and the spread of COVID-19. Author and activist Helen Zia.
There is nothing new about this, not only in recent years, but historically, this has been something that's happened to people of Asian descent over and over and over again.
That blame often comes with violence. Since 2020, reports of anti-Asian hate crimes jumped 342%, according to data compiled by California State University. In King County, the number of anti-Asian hate crimes nearly doubled at the start of the pandemic, up from 22 in 2019 to 40 cases in 2020. But just 15 of those local cases involved Asian Americans.
We're talking about a whole community that just really doesn't know anymore what is safe, not just for them, but for their children and their families.
Trauma Lily still feels today about a history she fears may be forgotten.
There are still people who don't know that this happened.
Back on Bainbridge Island,
So there's a lot of photographs.
Lily fills in the blanks on what her family endured. They were given 6 days' notice to pack up a few of their belongings.
That's me, my mama, my sister Frances, my baby sister Jane, my brother Frank, and we're all holding one toy that my mama said we could take.
Lily and her family moved into barracks, surrounded by barbed wire, watched 24/7 by armed guards.
I happened to find a creek. It was inside the barbed wire. So I took off my shoes and I was going to wade in this creek, and then I heard something, and I looked up, and here it was a guard tower was right there, and there was a soldier, and he had a gun, and he was looking down and pointing it at me, and that scared me. It made me feel that wasn't acceptable as an American.
By 1945, most Japanese Americans were allowed to return to their homes, only to find more hate waiting for them.
As we're walking on the sidewalk, this Caucasian man came up behind us and said, "Why don't you go back where you came from, you blankly blank Japs?" And I'm going to turn around and say, "I'm not a Jap." After that, I really bent over backwards to prove I'm an American.
While distance and time can fade memory, Lily warns those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Could this happen again?
Well, because the government is made up of people, and people can make mistakes. I like to believe that most people are still basically good, and so that gives me hope.
It would take more than 40 years for the U.S. government to issue a formal apology to the 80,000 remaining survivors, along with a check for $20,000. It came too late for many survivors who had since passed away. For Facing Race, I'm PJ Randawa.